Do you want to talk about family law?
Alan, who lives in Sweden, Michael Dean, on Dreamcatcher Radio. We've got a lot to get through today. We all know that Epstein was a pervert. His list is longer than Schindler's List. Is Trump on it? Every single person on that list should be locked up regardless of their position in society. I mean that. Suicide is a pandemic. It's a disease, and nobody wants to address it. Well, we're going to have a look at the statistics pre and post COVID. Not just on suicide, but on cancers, multiple sclerosis, heart conditions, strokes, myocarditis, the list goes on forever. And nobody wants to address that old witty don't, does he? You don't stand there every day saying there's over 2,000 excess deaths a week just in the United Kingdom. Then we'll move it on to Serbia. Serbia and Italy in particular. Serbia are issuing 100,000 visas, well, slave contracts, to Ghanaians. Now, bear in mind that the average IQ in Ghana is 70. In Sweden, that's regarded as unable to be self-sufficient, but high enough IQ to be able to work. The one thing they can do, unlike us, is reproduce. And we'll be looking at a drop in the fertility rates all around the West and the Great Replacement. Tell me what can possibly go wrong. Now, do you holiday or travel more than 3 times a year? Well, Herr Starmer will be asking you to prove that you have sufficient legal funds to sustain a lavish lifestyle. What's lavish about going on holiday and travelling? Now, this is going to incorporate all types. Every time you leave the country, after 3 times, you're going to be flagged. Nigel Farage, my favourite arsehole. Farage laid down his pre-manifesto, sounded like a team of Trump. And he's dividing people again. That's just what he does. And then my favourite subject, Sweden. 106 bombs so far this year in Sweden. Who's doing it and why? And what's more important, how can the woke government stop it? We've got loads to get through. And I've got a special featured guest artist. And I know that his lovely lady, Daniela, is listening in Ireland. Welcome to Dreamcatcher Radio with me, Michael Dean, the Englishman in Sweden. And let's start off with a return of one of my favourite artists, Bon Jovi. This is legendary. Good afternoon.
Legendary. I know this town like the back of my hand. Every crack in the sidewalk tells me who I am. Living in love is the law of the land. These are my dreams, that's where we stand. Raise my head to the sky. Don't need more to tell me I'm alive.
Welcome back, John. One of my favourite artists and bands, John Bon Jovi. I just think he's awesome. Not the same though without Richie Sambora. Bon Jovi is not Bon Jovi without Richie Sambora. John, if you're listening, bring back Richie. We want Richie back, mate. He's great. But, you know, John Bon Jovi's another one of these artists who's thankfully beat throat cancer. There seems to be loads of that going around as well. Has anybody had Donald Duck at the moment on tour? Guns N' Roses, my God, Axl, what happened to him? What happened to Paul Young? What happened to a load of them? But let's get on to today's topic, starting off with our favourite pervert, Epstein. Now, Donald Trump, anybody who knows me know that I'm a big fan of Trump. I was a massive fan. I even made a song for him called We Love USA. Up until about a week ago, I thought the sun shone out of his backside and he could do no wrong. But he was elected. One of his main campaign promises was to release in its totality the Epstein list. I mean, conspiracy, dig deep, go down holes, he's on it, she's on it, they're on it, everybody's on it, Clinton's on it, P. Diddy's on it, Bruce Springsteen's on it, Sean Combs is on it, Tom Hanks is on it, is Trump on it? That's what I want to know. So at the time when he's promising to release these things, he's released all the documents about JFK's assassination, Martin Luther King is dropping loads of them. Donald, we don't care. Well, we do care, but, you know, they're all buried into history, for good or bad, and it was horrendous what happened to him. But we're in the present now, and there's a list out there, and the rumours are that you're quite possibly on it. Now, I'm not saying that everybody who went to Epstein's island is a pervert or a kiddie fiddler, just a majority. But, you know, you're a billionaire. Epstein was a billionaire. All the multimillionaires. It seems like you have a big problem to stay searching for fun, you know. I know back in the day, I've got a very good friend, probably listening in London, Danny. He did the art covers for Coldplay's albums, very talented artist. And he walked in, and this is hearsay, and I'm not going to stand up in a court of law and say it, but apparently he walked in because his mum was dating Rod Stewart back in the day, and old Long John Baldwin were rogering him. So there you go. It seems that the more money you've got, the harder it is to find a thrill. And Donald, I think all of us want full exclosure on who's on that list, because with what's happening in the United Kingdom with the grooming gangs, what's happening across Europe with the raping gangs, the leaders, the pillars of society, the people we idolise, we need to know that they're not all perverts and kiddie fiddlers. So do the world a favour, please, and release the Epstein's list. And I think this next man, there's a big chance that old Brucey boy might be on it. I love Springsteen, but listen to these lyrics and bear in mind that he thinks that men should be able to share toilets with young girls. Welcome to Dreamcatcher Radio.
Hey, little girl, is your daddy home? Did he go and leave you all alone? I got a bad desire. Oh, I'm on fire. Tell me now, baby, is he good to you? And can he do to you the things that I do? Oh, no, I can take you high. Sometimes it's like someone took a knife, baby, edgy and dull, and cut a 6-inch valley through the middle of my skull. At night I wake up with with the sheets soaking wet and a freight train running through the middle of my head. Only you can cool my desire. Oh, I'm on fire. Oh, I'm on fire. Oh, I'm on fire.
Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan, or I was a big fan of Bruce Springsteen. Now, when you think about everything that's happening now, and you listen to those words, "Hey little baby, is your daddy home? Does he do to you things that I don't do? Ooh, 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 I'm on fire." Sounds a bit risque, that, doesn't it? Hey? I don't know what's happened to the world. You know, since COVID, I don't think we'll ever recover and come back to where we're nice to each other and life's fun anymore. You know, it's just like this continual spiral of shit being poured at us, isn't it? But now, I want to talk about a very, very sad subject: suicide. Now, I've not had time to research all of the statistics around Europe and the Western world, but I can imagine they're pretty much in line with Sweden. That said, Sweden's one of the highest year on, year in, heavily suicidal areas. Now, this is from the Swedish Health Organisation, not WHO. Nobody wants to listen to Theodore. He's a mass murderer. He's wanted for genocide in Ethiopia, isn't he? And Trump's told him to stick it where the sun don't shine, the pandemic treaty. Well done, Trump. At least you're on that side, on our side with that. But you know, in Sweden, excuse me, in the population aged 15 and over, the suicide rate per 100,000 inhabitants in 2023 was 15.2. Let that sink in. The highest suicide rate was observed. Now, this I find quite intriguing, actually. The highest suicide rate in Sweden is men over 85 years old. 54.2% of 100,000 inhabitants, male, over the age of 85, are killing themselves. I mean, that's just staggering. It's staggering. You're 85, and you know, you've been around, you've seen the world change, and when you get to 85, you decide to top yourself. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Children in Sweden, it's rising. It's, you know, it might sound low, but 10 out of 100,000 children are killing themselves in Sweden. It's madness. It's a rise in the amount of women killing themselves as well. You know, generally, historically, suicide's been a male defect, but it seems that it's catching up in the women now as well. For men, the number of suicides is lowest in the oldest age group, between the age of 45 and 64. Oh no, sorry, it's lowest, the age group from 64 to 80 is the lowest. But the highest, this is staggering because I'm in this age group, the highest with 300 deaths from 100,000 is between the age of 45 and 64. Now, on top of this, there's also around 300 deaths suspected to suicide, but they're not sure. So what is it that makes men in between the age of 64 and 45 be the highest group who are committing suicide? Divorces, death of a spouse, death of a child, loss of income, loss of a job. I just think that it's insane. in Sweden, which is a so-called modern society, that so many people are taking the worst possible way out for everybody who's left behind. I was going to play my song, The Good Die Young, but I'm not very technical, so I can't get it on. I didn't have time to get it onto Spotify list, so I'll play it another time. But I say in that song, suicide is painless, not for those left behind. And that's a fact, innit? You know, it's suicide. Everybody's been touched by suicide. During the pandemic, and the close period after the pandemic, I lost 19 friends to suicide. 19. People I'd known for years and years, who seemed to be travelling along, going along nicely, enjoying life, and then boom. One of them jumped off the White Cliffs of Dover while they were in a video group during the pandemic. Drank a bottle of Drambuie, kept his phone on, and jumped off the White Cliffs of Dover. That was the song that inspired me to write The Good Die Young. Shame I can't play it. I will fix it till next week. But I think we have to look around, you know, mental illness. It's very prevalent in today's society. And you can't always see it. This is the thing, right? You can't always see when somebody is suffering inside. I know after my divorce, I struggled, but I've touched on this before. I could never end my own life and leave that stigma to my children. And I want to go to heaven. I don't want to... I spent 63 years walking this hell, so I want to spend the rest of my time up behind the pearly gates with the people I love and all my dogs who I've loved. So, you know, I reached out to Tyson Fury 2020, 2021 when I wrote The Good Die Young. I didn't want him to give me any money. I didn't want him to do anything except just like on Instagram or Facebook, just like the video that I made for it. And his worldwide following would have noticed, and they'd have gone to look at it, they would have heard The Good Die Young, and the proceeds from that song went to suicide awareness. I weren't making a cent out of it. And I thought with Tyson Fury's, I was always going on about, you know, people don't realise how suicidal he was, and mental illness in men, it's got to be taken care of. We have to bring awareness to it. And a simple little thing like me asking Tyson Fury to like a song, and he couldn't be arsed. In fact, the reply was piss off. Not to me directly, but to a friend of mine who's friends with his cousin. I mean, I know it's a gypsy family, so that means it's Arthur Morecambe now. And one of my friends knows Tyson, he knows the family, and he just quietly asked, would you mind liking this? It's for suicide awareness and highlighting mental illness. And Tyson Fury couldn't be asked to do that. So when I hear him and see him on all these social medias, you see that sausage? He winds me up. If I were 23 stone and I could box, I'd offer him out, but there's not much point in that, is there? Eh? So think, when you look at people, before you judge them, you know, before you snap at somebody, look into their eyes, look into the soul. We've all been touched by suicide and mental illness. Think about it. Think about it. Let's have some music. Here's a little bit of Pink. You know, I once sat in a jacuzzi with Pink in Denmark after doing a corporate gig for Sony Ericsson. Yes, I know. And she is fit. Fit as a fiddle. You listen to the Englishman in Sweden on Dreamcatcher Radio.
Ever wonder about what he's doing? How it all turned to lies? Sometimes I think that it's better to never ask why. Where there is desire
the lovely Pink, and she is lovely, fit as a fiddle. I remember we were at Kronholm, this place in Denmark, just outside of Helsingør in Denmark, and I did this corporate event for Sony Ericsson, and a lot of the stars, they have to fulfill contracts for sponsorship, and Pink was one of those stars, and I think 2 or 3 times a year they had to do like a private party or a launch, and this was a launch for some handset which I got a few of, and I was just chilling out afterwards. I only did like 4 songs, that's all I ever did. I went and did 4 songs, like warm-up artists for these. I've done it for Christina Aguilera in Berlin, and but this was in Denmark, and I'm sat in the jacuzzi, and I've got a bucket of beers, and this beautiful lady jumped in the jacuzzi next to me, and it happened to be Pink, and it's when she broke up, or was going through a breakup with her husband, who I think she's back together with, and she was delightful. She was such a nice woman, and I just asked her, I said, how do you get a body like that, you know? I'm pretty forward as a person. And she went, honey, I run until nothing shakes. Well, if I could run, I'd try it, but I can't run because of my multiple sclerosis, which is another side effect of this bloody COVID. We'll come around to that later. But, you know, we're going to have a little bit of a light-hearted interlude here, and I'm wanting to introduce you to the music of a very good friend of mine, Steve the Entertainer. I first met Steve, 15, 20 years ago, in Mallorca. He moved over to the mainland. He's a great guitar player and singer-songwriter, fantastic. And I'm just hoping that the stuff he's doing now breaks for him, because he's extremely talented. If you go on YouTube and all the different social media sites, Steve the Entertainer has got an album out now which is flying in America. High Art Radio. It's doing extremely. And this guy, right, is a very good friend, and he's been through it. He's been through it like we all have. You know, shat on from great heights, mistreated by employees, struggled, continued to fight forward, been let down by a partner in a savage way. And, you know, if you keep trying, if you keep faith in yourself, your ability, and in love above all else, you always seem to come back round, and it comes around and finds you. Now, on the cover of his new single, A Kind of Love, it's his gorgeous girlfriend, who I do believe's in Ireland, Daniela, and she's absolutely gorgeous. It's worth listening to his record just to look at the cover. He's a great guy. He's done some brilliant music. Look him up, Steve the Entertainer. I'm going to do a couple of his tracks today, because this guy is mega talented. He loops, he does all that sort of stuff. He's a great live performer. And with a talent like he's got, it should be gracing the billboards all across our fair land. This is A Kind of Love, Steve the Entertainer. Just listen to the words and the musicianship. Steve, this is awesome. This is awesome, this track, mate. Well done.
We talk all night, even through the day. Your voice softly touches my brain. You say don't go crazy, we are just friends. But your voice, it's driving me insane. I see the storms behind your eyes, the hidden wars you try to hide. I can't help loving you, Lord knows I've tried. I saw a future and you were there. You were laughing, you looked so amazing. I reached out my hand to touch your face, then you were gone without a your face, then you were gone without a trace. Why did they send you there? That's so unkind. It's not my fault. I feel this way. Ooh, don't ever take this love. Is this the kind of love? Why am I confused? I've been waiting for someone like you. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm mad, maybe I'm stupid, maybe I'm sad, but I know what I feel. I ain't no child. You got my emotion running wild. I saw a future and you were there. You were laughing, you looked so amazing. I reached out my hand to touch your face, then you were gone without a trace. Kind of love, or am I blind? Why did they send you there? That's so unkind. It's not my fault. I feel this way. Ooh, don't ever take this love. Is this the kind of love? Why am I confused? I've been waiting for someone like you. I'm not saying this to make you crazy, and I don't want you to be sad. You can't help the way you feel. I told you I'll never lie to you. I always say what's true. Is this a kind of love? 'Cause I'm so in love with you.
How good? How good is that? Steve, wow, mate. Wow. I'll be dropping another couple of tracks of Steve's during this show. I've got to say, you know, I worked with Steve. He had bars, I've sang in his bars, his clubs. We've done a few shows together, and hopefully later this year we're going to be doing 2 or 3 together. Steve, I'll just ask you a favour, mate. When you're famous, which you will be on the strength of this music you're doing, take your little old mate Rudders with you, right? Because I can warble a bit. In fact, he's done a song for me, he's sending it to now. He's written a song specifically for me to suit my voice. Steve the Entertainer. And by the way, mate, your beard's well fit. Hello, Daniela in Ireland. Derry, is it Derry you're in? I'm not sure whereabouts in Ireland you are, but hello, Ireland. Top of the morning to you all. Right, now, we've got to get back to some more serious issues. Maloney, you know Maloney? Rhymes with baloney. The Italian Prime Minister who got into power. Another one, I'm going to stop mass immigration. Do you remember her saying that? Well, up to now, she's given out 500,000 working visas to people from the third world and the Arab world, with another 500,000 on their way. That's 1 million. Sure, they've stopped illegal migration. They've just given more bloody visas. And now, let me check this out now, because another country has decided to do the same. Right, but this time it's Serbia. Yes, Serbia. Remember Serbia and the wars? Most of the goddamn grenades and everything that go off in Sweden came from the Baltic Wars. Well, Serbia, they're issuing 100,000 working visas to Ghanaians. Right? Now, I don't want to sound like I'm picking on a race of people, but this is a statistic. Sorry about that. I'm having a bit of trouble with my mouth today, and one of my teeth cracked yesterday. It's the medication I'm using. for my multiple sclerosis. 100,000 visas to Serbia. Serbia is not a big country, right? And the Ghanaians with an IQ of 70. Officially in Sweden, that is classed as just enough to work in, maybe be self-sufficient and live alone. Maybe. A dog IQ, an intelligent dog IQ, is equivalent to 68. And I don't think my Lily could work in a machine. She couldn't work a computer. She couldn't work an operating machine in a factory. But she could probably, haul things around. This is modern slavery. And it's just a very clever tactic to relocate the great replacement. Because, unfortunately, people, that's exactly what's happening. We are being replaced. The fertility rate has been in decline for decades. And then COVID came. Yes, that ugly beast is rearing its head again. How any government can consciously say they were doing this with our best interests at heart are lying. They are lying. To sustain a creed, you need to have 2.3 births per woman. 2.1 is considered replacement level. In Sweden, that's dropped to 1.3 per female. It's not enough to sustain the Swedish race. In Italy, 1.4. United Kingdom, 1.5. There's going to be nobody. There's going to be no people left. And I think this is what we have to dig to the bottom of, why our governments are hell-bent on filling our countries with thugs, criminals, rapists, murderers. We're simply not reproducing. And since 2020, when we all know what came, COVID-19 vaccine, an experimental vaccine, which in my opinion was made to wipe a lot of us out. They only managed to get maybe 1% of the death rate that they actually wanted, 20 million. There or thereabouts, 24 million have died from side effects. Tens of millions have been vaccine damaged, like myself. I was very healthy, fit, good working order, strong, active, and then I got vaccinated so I could travel and continue working. Without that, I would not have been allowed into New Zealand, Australia or America. So it's a form of coercion. But the birth rates have drastically dropped. And in Africa and in the Middle East, the uptake on the vaccine was very low. So guess what? Their sperm still works. That's what this is all about. They are trying to replace the decline in the Western civilization by replacing it with the third world. Because they can't work, but the spunk does. It's madness. It's actual madness. Do yourself a favour, right? Do yourself a favour. Go online and have a look about how the fertility rates have dropped. Below 1.3 birth rates per woman is known as lowest low fertility, and when a creed will die out. Now, I've got a lot of friends who come from all over the world. I really do not want to come across as being in any way, shape or form a racist. Anybody who knows me know that a lot of my friends are coloured. They're from all over the world. I judge a person by the person, not by where they're from, what God they follow. But we are dying out. They use excuses, don't they? Clever excuses. It's because everybody's so busy. We're all stressed. We don't know what's going to happen with wars. We can't afford to have kids. No, that's because we're all working, paying for these bloody lot to come over to our countries. You know, a survey in animals and plant species found that the negative ratio ranging from 0.994 below is when that species dies out. We are very close to that now. Say Sweden, it's 1.3. Unsustainable to keep the Swedish race alive. And if you look over the decades at the decline of our populations, naturally, normally, more people were born than died. That's not the case anymore. So you can take all of your bullshit excuses. Keir Starmer, we're going to bust the gangs. You have no intention whatsoever of busting the gangs. Let's get one thing straight. You have no intention at all in busting the boat people coming over from France. France has no intention in stopping them. They roll out a red carpet, go on, piss off, go to the United Kingdom. But a few of you stay here to repopulate our women, impregnate our women, before you take off. In Italy, they're at the same stage. And Maloney's very cleverly disguised it and removed the illegals and made them legal by giving them visas. What can possibly go wrong, eh? What can possibly go wrong? The Great Replacement is a real thing. And, well, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. I don't know where, how this world's going to look when my children are grown up. My youngest is 8, she's 9 next month. My oldest is 34. She's had a good life. Still got plenty left in her. But what will this world look like in 40 years? We're going to talk more about that when I come back. As for now, I'm going to go and pray to my personal Jesus. You listen to Michael Dean,
Reach out, touch faith.
the Englishman in Sweden, on Dreamcatcher Radio. Hello.
You're alone, that's enough, Jesus. Someone to hear your prayers, someone who cares. You're alone, that's enough, Jesus. Someone to hear your prayers, someone who's there. Feeling unknown, you're all alone. Flashing by the telephone. Lift up the receiver, I'll make you a believer. Takes a good best, put me to the test. Things are looking, you need to confess. I know to let you go and forgive you. Reach out, touch faith. Reach out, touch faith. You're alone, that's enough,
don't know if you're aware about this, but David, what's his name? The singer of Depeche Mode. He's actually on lifetime bail in California because committing suicide is a crime in California. It's illegal. And of course, he tried to do that. Luckily, he didn't manage because, I mean, I love Depeche Mode, and if you go and see them live, you'll be blown away. I was expecting like a Kraftwerk sort of boring electronic thing, and it was like proper rocking. But not a lot of people know that he's on lifetime bail in America. But anyway, let's get round to my favourite person, shall we? Well, the two favourite people. Herr Starmer. Hey, I mean, what is he doing to our country? What are Labour doing to our country? In fact, they've just made it easy for me now with my section Bell End of the Week, because I think for the rest of his parliamentary term, Keir Starmer, Angela Rayner, David Lammy or Rachel from Accounts is going to be my Bell End of the Week, because they are absolutely and utterly shite at their jobs. But what's worse is what they're doing to us as a nation. They're bankrupting Britain. They really are. They're bankrupting it. They ain't got a clue. They're going to raid now the pensioners' money. It's just like, I don't actually, it's like an addiction now watching the news, watching the little squirmers on Sky News and BBC and TV4, GB News, all pushing their agendas, you know. But what's a dictatorship? What is a dictatorship? I'll tell you what a dictatorship is. When you've got a Prime Minister who has now ordered that any Brit who travels outside of the United Kingdom, for whatever reason, more than 3 times a year, on the 4th time, you will be flagged and probably contacted by the working department, pensions department, needing to prove you're economically viable and sustainable, that you can travel out of the country more than 3 times. I mean, this is like going back to 1939, isn't it? We want your papers. You cannot leave. Where are you going? Why are you going? What are you doing? Have you got diamonds and gold with you? I mean, this is United Kingdom, the birthplace of democracy, and you've got an absolute tit in charge of it, just running around, destroying it, doing what he wants, and then smugly smiling. I mean, we all know that is a gender bender, which you won't admit to. We talked about that last week with him and Macron, with a little love fest. But how the hell are they getting away with this? You leave Britain, on the 4th time you go, you're automatically going to be flagged. They're going to search your bank accounts, they're going to search your mobile data, they're going to look at everything that you've been doing, where you've been going, how you can afford it, and you're going to have to prove that you've got the economy to do it. They're doing this under the guise of stopping benefit cheats. Yes, you heard me. They're doing it saying it's benefit cheats. Just like they want to do the digital ID to stop illegal immigrants working in the black market. It's all bollocks. It's all bollocks. It's so wrong. We are Great Britain. Let's never forget, we're the only country in the world with great before its name. We've got to take it back. Epping, this is just the beginning. And Keir Starmer has now classed all those people rightly going out and showing their dissatisfaction at a 14-year-old girl being raped by an asylum seeker, a boat person, somebody who came over on his little dinghy, people trafficking. Now, I've got to take my hats off now and shout out to Patrick Christie. What a job he's doing. He's probably the best fresh of air, the first best fresh air in a long time in journalism. He's a very brave man. He's been over to Cali a few times. He's confronting the people traffickers, people smugglers. He was there a month or so ago, and it wasn't so aggressive. Now they were getting stones, bottles thrown at them, abusive. The people were very aggressive. There's no way you can tell me that all these people queuing up to get on a rubber dinghy to come across the channel from France to the United Kingdom have all got sob stories. They're all running away from persecution, because they're not. Back to Sweden, you'll see that They come from Afghanistan and Syria claiming asylum for being gay or whatever reason. They get the paperwork, they get the Swedish passport, and where do they go on vacation? Yes, back to the place where they ran away from saying they were being persecuted. Keir Starmer is the worst Prime Minister in my lifetime. Probably in Britain's history. And that takes some doing that, doesn't it? To beat the likes of Tony Blair. But it's a shocking state of affairs. I mean, your passport is your passport. That's all you need to leave a country. Not anymore. Not according to Keir Starmer and his Nazis in Parliament. It's a shocking turn of events. Shocking. Where's it going to end? With Nigel Farage? Let's talk about Nigel Farage while we're on the subject, shall we? This man built a career, built a fortune in dividing people. And he's at it again. Yes, Nigel, I actually agree that we are on the verge of civil unrest, not just in the United Kingdom, but across the whole of the West, because of government's insistency to bring in immigrants. Now, my children wouldn't be born if there weren't rules, because I'm an immigrant. I'm an immigrant, but I pay my taxes, I work, and I'm not a criminal. Which, if you're going to travel and you're going to fall in love and, you know, and you're lucky enough to relocate and live somewhere nice, as it is, I chose Sweden, which is bloody freezing 9 months a year. But when the sun shines, it's amazing, and the women are the most beautiful in the world. That's what I think. Stop plinging me then, Steve. She was plinging me. And it's just insane that Keir Starmer is getting away with what he's getting away with, and that the only alternative is Nigel Farage. Now, Nigel Farage, he was the architect. He was the architect of Brexit. His lies sold Brexit. Him, Boris the Bellend Johnson, David Cameron, Jacob Rees-Mogg, all moved their assets out of the country before it happened. Many of them quit, just ran off like little crybabies when it actually happened. And 8 years later, Britain's going bankrupt and it's collapsing to such a state that the only person a lot of people can see who can replace Keir Starmer is one of the most divisive characters in politics. As far as I'm concerned, when he did his speech yesterday, I watched it because he's a very good talker, much like Obama, and we're going to come to Obama and his Russian collusion after this next track. But please, people, tell me, is the only option Britain's got to be saved a man who's spent a career dividing people, causing racial unrest? Because if that is the case, we are well and truly doomed in the United Kingdom. You listen to Michael Dean, the Englishman in Sweden, on Dreamcatcher Radio. Hello! Let's have some Guns N' Roses. I'll be back. killed the cat? Guns N' Roses, they were groundbreaking, weren't they? Eh? A mate of mine is still playing away, and I've turned it on silent. I don't know. I've got an iPhone 15, I don't know how to turn it. Stop texting me. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's another candidate for Bell End of the Lifetime, isn't he? Eh? Made some great movies, Mr. Universe and all that, many times over. And there he was, forcing people. You have to get your job, you are killing us. No, Arnold, the jab was. But anyway, let's get round now to a very, very, very interesting development in the United States of America, where a reporter has exposed over 100 documents proving that Obama and his team created the Russian hoax in 2016. I know, it sounds a little bit far-fetched, doesn't it, eh? It does, it sounds a little bit far-fetched. But this lady called Gabby, she's spent a lot of time and energy and obviously money proving, well no, she's not proven it yet. They've sent it to the FBI and the CIA and all the relative bodies in America, showing that Hillary Clinton made up the hoax, the Russian collusion, that they interfered in America's election in 2016, and that's why Donald Trump got in. And Barack Obama and his team ran with it. Do you remember him? Stood there, smarmy git, he is. The worst president in American history. I know we've got Starmer, the worst Prime Minister in British history. You know, what's it tell you all? And I mean, his presidency started on a lie, didn't it? You know, and we touched on this last week. He's married to a man. So at least when Barack Hussein Obama, if Tula Gabbard's findings come to court, which is a big if, because you can never rest assured when it's America, but if they do come to fruition and it proves that Barack Hussein Obama committed treason, and that is what it is, and the Obama and the Clintons and Mitt Romney and everybody else involved in this travesty, this perversion of justice and truth to try and steal the election away from Donald Trump. If you can impeach Trump for saying he likes pussy, God, you must be able to impeach Obama for creating a massive lie and trying to pervert the will of the American people. I just find it all too coincidental that everything is dropping at the same time. It's like you need a sift to get through the information which has been dumped on us daily. I can't keep up with it. I just can't keep up with it. I really just can't keep up with it. So I have to just find a thread and follow it. But Gabby, thank you so much. Thank you so much for bringing this to the attention of the world. That the biggest fake in American political history, Barack Hussein Obama, wasn't satisfied in tricking the American people and the world into thinking that he was a genuinely nice, straight guy, because he's not. None of those. I, for one, I really hope that there's a lot of substance and a lot of fact in these findings. I can't wait for it all to be dropped and see how the left's heads explode. Right, I'm going back to my mate Steve. I've been informed that Danielle is not his girlfriend. Sorry, Daniela, if you like older men, I'm free. But here's another track from his newly released album, and this is just this track is just like amazing as well. Look him up, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Steve the Entertainer. If you like quality music, download his album. It's quality. From the album Rose, This is Jealous, Steve the Entertainer, and the Englishman in Sweden. Dreamcatcher Radio. Hello.
My life's a muddle, my mind's a maze. Each day passes in a cloudy haze. No one sees the storm inside, the silent tears I try to hide. Filled with anger, consumed by fear. The thought of loneliness draws near. It's not the jealousy you might assume. It's the empty space within this room. You think I'm doubting your love's embrace, imagining shadows in your place. But it's the clock that's my true foe, stealing moments as it ticks slow. I'm jealous of the time they share, the moments with you when I'm not there. It's not another's love I feel, but missing days when you're not near. Guide me through this stormy weather, until the day we're back together. You think I question where you've been, imagining shadows of other men. But it's the clock that's my true foe, stealing time, moving slow. Each second ticks like a drum, reminding me that you're not home. I don't doubt your love's embrace, just longing for your smiling face. You think I'm doubting your love's embrace, imagining shadows in your place. But it's the clock that's my true foe, stealing moments as it ticks slow. I'm jealous of the time they share, the moments with you when I'm not there. It's not another's love I fear, but missing days when you're not near. Guide me through this stormy weather, until the day we're back together. Distance tests the strongest hearts, but can't keep us forever apart. I hold on to our cherished dreams until we're back a united team. I'm jealous of the time they share, the moments with you when I'm not there. It's not another's love I feel, but missing days when you're not near. Guide me through this stormy weather, until the day we're back together. So understand my troubled mind. It's time not trust that's unkind. Together soon, this I believe. In your arms, my soul's reprieve.
Steve the Entertainer. Wow! You know what? Remember that name, because I can see lawsuits coming up. I can see someone like Ed Sheeran hearing these songs and plagiarising them. This music is so good. Steve, it's genuinely so good. And looking at the viewing or listening statistics, it seems like a lot of people out there agree with me. I can't big him up enough, and he's such a great guy. And hopefully we're going to do some shows together later this year. Sort it out, mate. But get yourself on his Spotify and the other social media networks and download his music. It's awesome. The whole album's brilliant. I'll be playing more of his material over the coming weeks. So there you go. Now, while we're on shout-outs, I want to give a shout-out to Keel Harris, a fellow MS warrior. Anybody out there who suffers from MS, it's confusing, it's disorientating, it's brutal, people can't see it, they don't understand it. Personally, I've stopped talking about it to people because well, they just don't understand it. You don't understand it until you get it. But for anybody out there who's listening, who thinks they've got MS or does have MS, get yourself over to Keel Harris. She knows more about MS than pretty much all of the neurologists and doctors and specialists I've seen during my diagnosis of multiple sclerosis, which I can prove from the COVID-19 vaccine, and I'm suing the Swedish government, but that's another story for another time. What I'm coming round to now is, yes, another disorder. Now, pre-2020, honestly, I'd never heard of a disorder called the restless leg disorder. I know a few women have got it. It's when your legs spasm and they just do things like spread, even when you're in a relationship. But that's another story. But restless leg disorder, that is a new phenomenon sweeping the medical world. When you lose sensation, you can't control your legs, they just spasm. All sorts of weird things that are happening with your legs. And all these sort of weird, unheard of disorders conveniently came at the same time as the jab. Along with the sterilisation and defertilisation, MS increased 690%. Myocarditis, 1900% increase. That's mainly in younger people. Stage 4 cancers massively increased. Turbo cancers increased. You've got to be either totally, utterly retarded or so naive if you can't see all of these ailments and this increase in all these vile, destructive diseases is a coincidence, or it was actually increased and forced on us, or stupid enough to trust government, trust celebrities, and get vaccinated. Shocking times, eh? Shocking times. Well, let's play some more good music. Here is one of my favourite bands from Wales, the Stereophonics. This is Dakota. You listen to The Englishman in Sweden, Michael Dean, on Dreamcatcher Radio. Good afternoon.
Thinking back, thinking of you. Summertime, think it was June. Yeah, think it was June. Laying back, hand on the
Take a look at me now.
I love them. Stereophonics, a great band. I'm taking a look at you, Kelly. You know, what would it be? I lose track. I lose track in time. Maybe 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, when I was working in Mallorca. I was performing at a hotel, and I did Rod Stewart's version of I did the Stereophonics version of the Handbags and Gladrags, and I remember saying when I performed it, I think this is a better version than Rod's. And lucky I said that, because when I finished, the bass player was in the audience, Stereophonics bass player, and I stick with it. And Kelly's got a cracking voice, so I think the Stereophonics is a fabulous band. But back to that restless leg disorder. I mean, come on. Seriously? I mean, what else are they going to throw at us, eh? It's a mad, scary world that we're living in at the moment. And I genuinely fear for my kids, for the future, and eventually grandkids, because my children, all of them, will be able to reproduce, because not one of them is vaccinated. Not one of them. Neither are my ex-wives. And this was a conscientious decision, and I got vaccinated so I could provide and travel, work, and in the end it cost me everything. Now, when I got diagnosed with MS, my marriage fell to pieces. I don't know how to turn this onto silent. It's playing. People who are listening, they see me as Rod Stewart and whatever. It's nice. Tonight I'll be performing at a really nice hotel here in Cyprus, and I'll be doing my Bon Jovi and Rock of Ages. I'll be doing Dakota tonight. You know, we drift along life, don't we? People come in and out of it who are important to you. I do believe in that you meet people for a reason. I'm a big believer in destiny. I'm a big believer in karma, and you know, things are thrown at us, the testers, and I am very religious. Hard to believe that I'm a Catholic since I've been divorced a couple of times, but that's life, isn't it? Well, 3 times actually. Stop kidding myself. I've got beautiful kids, just really bad taste when it comes to longevity. And in my work, I can't say I blame them, you know. I've been away travelling far too much, but reconnecting with my kids is awesome. Awesome. I'll be heading to Sweden shortly, celebrating my youngest birthday, and my second youngest is coming with a boyfriend here to Cyprus to visit her old dad, and I'm going to get them on the show because my daughter is dating a really nice lad with Albanian parents, and it's going to be a very interesting insight to have them sat here with me in the studio, literally tearing the bones out of how it is to be a teenager in a young 20s living in a multicultural society which is crumbling. And believe you me, Sweden is crumbling. It's insanity what's going on there. I always have to come round and talk about Sweden and the violence and the destruction and the bombs and the lack of interest by the government to take the bull by the balls and stop it. The Prime Minister actually admitted, and the Minister of the Interior admitted, they've lost control of the streets. They don't know what to do about it. They don't know how to stop it. And this is staggering. So far this year in Sweden, there's been 106 bombs. Now, bombs, it can be a hand grenade. It's just an explosion. And that's what it's become in Sweden now, just another explosion. It's insanity what's happening. And they're saying that it's safe and regular people don't need to worry. It's isolated incidents. 106 bombs so far this year is not isolated. In January alone, in the first 14 days of 2025, there was 11 explosions and 25 bombs disarmed. And this is just scraping the surface. This is just what they're allowing to drop left, right and centre. It's not mainstream. When it's a bomb and somebody gets injured, yeah, it makes the TV. Otherwise you have to scroll through the police websites, you have to scroll through the local magazines and newspapers, which I do regularly because I think it's very important that people know what's happening in Sweden. Sweden was utopia. It literally was. And now it's on the abyss of disappearing. Not just because of the falling fertility rates and birth rates by ethnic Swedes, but by total mismanagement of consecutive governments. Do you see this pattern that's occurring in all of our countries? It's the same shit in a different coat, isn't it? Starmer does it his way, Maloney does it her way, Christensen in Sweden does it his way, this new idiot in Germany does it his way. The end game is utter and total control. They all seem to be having wet dreams about the Chinese model of digital identity and control, social scoring. Someone like me, they turn my electric off, they'd lock me up because I don't toe the line. I believe in freedom of speech, as does this radio station. This radio station is a breath of fresh air, people. It's a breath of fresh air that we've got a radio station that allows free speech. Of course there's limits, there's borders and red lines you can't cross, but the simple fact that we have now got a radio station covering every type of topic, every genre of music, but giving people like me the opportunity to share what I think is valid information about the way our world is going. I'm actually very, very scared about the future. I don't know how much of a future I've got left with what they did to me with this experimental vaccine. People wind me up with these clever shitheads who say, "We told you shouldn't get vaccinated, you wouldn't listen, you're all morons." Some of us didn't have a alternative. We had no choice. It's alright saying everybody had a choice. I personally had no choice. All my savings went. I got the opportunity to get out and work. I took it with both hands. The fact that I had to get vaccinated and then boosted to go to New Zealand, by the by, I'd probably do it again if it meant saving my house, saving my family. Even though I lost my marriage, it's by the by, she's a fantastic mother. All the mothers of my children are brilliant mothers. And I suppose, when you're on the road 6, 7, 8 months a year, it's a price you pay. I've got no regrets whatsoever. I've got a great lifestyle. I meet wonderful people, and I just hope I can continue doing what I love doing for as long as possible. But those days seem like they are soon going to be ending. You can only fight so much, you can only continue, you can only put on a brave face so much. When there's treatment out there which is going to help me, I've got to take it. But there you go. Right, now in Sweden, on a more positive note, away from the 84 shootings this year, all the cars being blown up, burnt, set fire, all the rapes, obviously all the bombs, all the denial. This is Stockholm Syndrome. Sweden suffers from Stockholm Syndrome. But also, right, when now Per Gessle, you don't know him by his name that way, in Sweden is like the biggest star. He resurrected Roxette, great band. Marie Fredriksson, fantastic singer, sadly passed away of cancer, wonderful woman, from the same little village as my ex-wife. My mate my longest friend, Peter, produced their son's rock album. And Per Gessle, thankfully, decided to bring back Roxette. And he got a lady called Lena Philipsson, in her own right, a megastar in Sweden. And of course, the faithful Roxette fans, oh, you can't do this. Ooh, what an insult to Maria, bringing Lena Philipsson. Why? I, for one, am extremely happy that Roxette are back. I think the music's great, wonderful songs. I met Lena a few times, lovely woman, lovely woman, beautiful woman, witty, warm woman, and they're currently on tour, they're selling out, and they're smashing it wherever they go. They made some great songs. This is my personal favourite. You listen to The Englishman in Sweden, Michael Dean, on Dreamcatcher Radio. Here's Roxette, Fading Like a Flower.
In a time when the sun descends alone, I ran a long way from home to find a home that's made of stone. I will try, I just need a little time to get your face right out of my mind, to see the world through different eyes. Every time I see you, oh, I try to hide away, but when we meet it seems I can't let go. Every time you leave the room I feel I'm fading like a flower. Tell me why, when I scream there's no reply, when I reach out there's nothing to find, when I sleep I'll break down and cry, yeah. Every time I see you, oh, I try to hide away, but when we meet it seems I can't let go. Every time you leave the room I feel I'm fading like a flower, fading like a rose, fading like a rose, beaten by the storm, talking to myself, getting washed by the rain. It's such a cold town. Ooh, it's such a cold town. Every time I see you, oh, I try to hide away, but when we meet it seems I can't let go. Every time you leave the room I feel I'm fading like a flower. Every time I see you, oh, I try to hide away, but when we meet it seems I can't let go. Every time you leave the room I feel I'm fading like a. Every time I see you, oh, I try to hide away, but when we meet it seems I can't let go. Every time you leave the room I feel I'm fading like a flower.
Oh, the magical tones of Marie Fredriksson and the genius writing of Per Gessle. Fantastic band, Roxette. If you get the opportunity, go and see Roxette with Lena Philipsson at the helm. It's well worth it. You know, interesting thing about Per Gessle, he's got a place called Tiller Sands, which is a 20-minute drive from where I was living in Sweden, and it's one of only two places in Sweden where the police and military can't fly over. They have to get special permission. That's how much money, how powerful per guest there is. I performed it as Tiller Sands Hotel. It's a beautiful place. It's got a spa and everything. It's a fantastic place. And what a great fit with Lena Phillipson. I just think they're great. Now, my mate Steve Entertainer. I hope you're still listening, mate, because I'm getting loads of requests through my social media apps for your music. It seems that, people like Steve the Entertainer. No, not that one. They seem to really like your music, Steve. And a guy called Gary Roos, I don't think I'm pronouncing that right, somewhere in the United Kingdom. He's just said, listening to my show, I think it's great. He's seen me performing as Rod Stewart. Didn't say that was good. I don't know. But he thinks the music I'm playing on this show is great. He's liking the chats. He's liking the information that I'm passing out. But he really, really likes Steve, my mate, the Entertainer. So I'm going to do another track for you. It's a funny old world, eh? I mean, when I first met Steve, we were both pretty, well, we were happy, but we weren't anywhere as near as successful as we've become in our own ways. Steve's managed his own bars, is just a great guy, and now his music is just going, well, it's going viral, and I think it's a wonderful thing, because it's such not that one, I'm cocking up now, my fingers are that sweaty that I'm touching the wrong buttons. But you know, when you get an up and coming artist, give him a chance, give him a go, you know, give him a listen. It's a cutthroat business, an absolute cutthroat business. Entertainment, especially the music industry. If you bend over and take one for the team, you're probably going to do all right. If you don't, you're going to have to struggle and daily fight. You'll never get airtime. They just won't give you. They just won't give you any airtime unless you're owned. I think that's quite evident, you know. I mean, Ed Sheeran, how many times has he been sued for plagiarism? It's like, oh, so many times. And it's a shame, because he's very talented. I think he's very talented. But for you, Gary, over there somewhere in the United Kingdom, let's play another track by Steve the Entertainer. I don't think it actually matters which one I play, because they're all fantastic. This one's I Think I Love You. Steve the Entertainer, by request, on Dreamcatcher Radio.
Look at you, you are amazing. Everything you do drives me crazy. Messages all day, keeping me happy. Holding my phone like a child with his toy. Is it real? Are you a dream? Did I just make you come true? Oh, who'd believe someone like me could get someone like you? They think I love you. Look at you, you are amazing. Everything you do drives me crazy. Messages all day, keeping me happy. Holding my phone like a child with his toy. Is it real? Are you a dream? Did I just make you come true? Oh, 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 oh. Who believes someone like me could get someone like missed a beat, cause I knew it's you all along. Is it real? Are you a dream? Did I just make you come true? Oh, who'd believe someone like me could get someone like you? Oh, hey baby, did I tell you lately? I'm not sure the words came out right. I tried to say mumble my way and I just can't deny. I changed the path cause I was scared to tell you first. But oh, I think I love you. Your eyes, your eyes, your eyes. Hey baby, did I tell you lately? Cause I'm not sure. I know it's crazy, but I think you lately. I'm losing my mind, but I can see the real me.
Whoops. Sorry, Steve, I cut that song short. But Gary liked it. He said, all your songs are great. And I've got to say, I totally agree with him. I really do. Magic music, mate. Magic music. And I hope people get behind you. Once again, the latest album's called Unbreakable. Rose. It's available on all social media platforms and YouTube, etc., etc. So do yourselves a favour. Get yourselves out. Well, you don't have to go out anymore, do you? Buy things physically. It's just one of those things now. It's all downloaded, isn't it? You know, a few years back I released a couple of singles. Rod Stewart and made the U look like an O. And the great thing about downloads, you can't send them back. So I sold quite a few records because people thought they were buying Rod Stewart's song. Because I do look like him, or I did before I got ill. You know, put weight on because of all the steroids and cortisones that I'm pumping into my body daily so I can function like somewhat kind of normal human being. I've never been normal, but you get me drift. And yeah, they bought it and you can't send it back. I thought I was buying Rod Stewart and I hadn't. I bought some shit. Rod Stewart. Too late. I got your €1 or €10, mate, whatever it was. A euro download, I think it is. And after you pay all your publishing rights and there's not much left. But still, it's always nice to sell music and make music. You know, we've got so many subjects to cover over the coming weeks. Right here on Dreamcatcher Radio. There's some other fabulous shows as well, you know. Steve, who does I think he does a breakfast show, he played some Australian band, which I'm trying to find it because I listened to it. It's great music. And they were like, wow, you know, all the way down in Australia and you're playing our music and we're listening to it on the radio from United Kingdom. That's the power of the internet, innit? Connecting people. It really is. We should use it a lot more for the positives instead of the negatives in life. That's me being philosophical. I could even say that word, even with a broken tooth. Let's have a bit of this. Metallica doing the Thin Lizzy classic. This is Englishman in Sweden on Dreamcatcher Radio. Good afternoon.
Devil, he may take ya.
Go on, James. Rip it out, son. Oh, Metallica. What a band. What a band, eh? A proper good they were. I mean, I saw... it cracked me up, actually. I follow a lot of different medias around the world. And I saw a very interesting article with Metallica fans, all with their black painted nails and the chains and looking angry and long, greasy, dirty hair. And then you saw Metallica shopping in Beverly Hills with the Prada bags. The spoils of success. But I just got an alert on my phone from Truth Media, Donald Trump's platform, and according to top intelligence officials, they contradicted Brenner. That's the girl I was telling you about who was dropped like 100 files to support the key Russia hoax claims, and top intelligence officials are saying there is nothing to support this. Now, call me stupid, but it looks like the cover-up's already started. Right? Not a chance in hell, is there, that they're going to take a homosexual prime minister or president and throw him in prison and leave Big Mike to be a single parent. A single dad. Oh, it's just that alone, you know, that people just don't scratch the surface and realise that they adopted the children. It's genetically impossible for a man to give birth, so to keep the camouflage going, adopt a couple of kids, and the parents to their 2 children are sat very, very wealthily in some big villa with a life O'Reilly. Fair play to them. You know, like I've touched before, I don't care about your sexual preferences. I really don't give a monkey. I really don't care. You are what you are, and be happy with what you are. Stand for what you are. Be happy with what you are, is what I'm trying to say. You know, this in my job, travelling the world, I do get to meet wonderful people. I meet a lot of arseholes as well, but it's the same in any walk of life, isn't it, eh? But sometimes you come across songs which are insanely good, and there's one song in particular, and now I perform this. It's a magical song, and the vocals of this guy are just insane. I mean, I think I can sing. You know, I've been around the block. I've done it a lot, and I, for the life of me, can't figure out how this guy just transposes his voice like he does. And he sort of dropped himself in the shit, didn't he, by signing a missile that were going to be dropped on Iran, I think it was, or I don't know where the missile were going. But he signed it, and a lot of the fans, when he did Ozzy Osbourne's Farewell, apparently they booed him when he came out on stage, which I find disturbing. I'm a bad lad, aren't I? This is Disturbed, the best version, best cover you'll ever hear. You listen to the Englishman in Sweden on Dreamcatcher Radio.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. Then
alone. Narrow streets of cobblestone. Neath the halo of a street lamp, I turn my collar to the cold and damp. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light, let's split the night and touch the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking. People hearing without listening. People writing songs that voices never share. And no one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops, fell and echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And the sign flashed out each morning, and the words that it was forming. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence.
Wow, what a version. Incredible. Just amazing. Oh, Disturbed, Sound of Silence. I will be doing that song tonight. I always finish my show when I'm doing the Rock of Ages with that particular tune. Thank you for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate you listening to me. Hopefully we're going to catch up again next week. I'll be back, same time, same place, same radio station. And I'm going to finish off with my favourite Australian singer. Loads of subjects, no doubt, will be rearing its head this coming week. Keir Starmer's going to do something stupid, no doubt. Thanks for listening to me on Dreamcatcher Radio. See you next week. This is Englishman in Sweden, Michael Dean. And this is Jimmy Barnes. Ta-da!
Working hard to make a living, bringing shelter from the rain. My father's son left to carry on, blue denim in his veins. Oh, he's a working class man.